think I'm done using Windows for music production and video editing, and most likely going Mac for this type of work moving forward, with mainly using Logic Pro as my music production software. And in this video I'm going to give some reasons for why I am doing so. I have used Windows since we used 3.5-inch diskettes to install it, and so I have over 20 years of experience using Windows. I know I grew up with gaming. I played Command & Conquer and the Blizzard games and all of that, and to have a real gaming system you more or less need a Windows computer even today. However, my main use for a computer nowadays are music production, video editing, and just, general office work, and it's about having the best computer for that type of task. My Ryzen based gaming PC I built about 2 years ago is more than capable of doing this, but I find myself just doing almost everything except gaming on my M1 MacBook Pro, because the workflow is just smoother. It's like they say, it just works better. I can certainly use the PC with Windows, of course, but sometimes things just stop working. Sometimes MIDI from my synthesizer here, I'm just going to fire up an Ableton Live project, turn on my interface, everything. It just doesn't work, and I have to use time to troubleshoot it, reconnect cables maybe sometimes I need to upgrade drivers, reboot the system. I can get it solved, of course, but it takes time. And occasionally when I edit images on Photoshop, the interface gets really laggy, and it also crashes sometimes as well. And again, I have to troubleshoot, I have to reinstall the drivers, try turning off the GPU in the settings or not, try different app settings in the NVIDIA control panel, and again, without solving, or sometimes I can solve the issue usually, but I'm using or losing valuable time in this type of troubleshooting. Maybe if I recorded a YouTube video of it, maybe that could be a little bit more productive, but I think you understand where I'm getting at. Whereas if I connect some devices to my Mac, everything just works without mostly any issue, and if nothing works, it's because it's a bad cable. As a guy who has a full-time day job, I have kids, I have family, I have other responsibilities, losing that half hour to troubleshooting is really not ideal, since I don't have much free time to begin with doing all of this, talking to you, recording YouTube videos, music and everything like that. So the free time I have, I want to use on something productive, and that's the main reason I'm using my productive work and going to the Mac for that. I did give Windows a chance. I bought this new fast SSD, the PCI Express 4 SSD, 7 gigabytes per second. It's really fast. I installed Windows 11 on it, and I started configuring the system, but there's just so many small annoyances that makes the Windows experience bad. Windows is a bloated operating system nowadays. Microsoft, they are adding intrusive features I don't really want to have, and they are spying on their users with their telemetry gathering, and they are installing new software without me asking for it. If you set up a new Windows system now, you have to download all this kind of unbloating software, telemetry disabling software, and when Windows push out a new update, they actively disable that kind of software as well. So it's really like they are taking over your system, and I think it's really annoying. So when it comes to privacy and intrusiveness, I believe Apple is the better choice here, although Apple is certainly not perfect in any way, but they are at least vocal about privacy issues, and they do take steps to improve it. Also, they usually don't introduce bloat into their operating systems. And another thing that is good about Apple is their software. I can't remember when I bought Logic Pro X. It's probably more than 5 years ago, and I still haven't paid anything more than the original purchase price. I have actually bought the software and not the subscription. And Apple still updates and works on Logic Pro X, introducing new features, new plugins all the time. And you get everything as an update other software companies would ask you to pay for. And even this if you bought the software like 5 or 6 years ago. And I think that's one of the huge reasons to go for the Apple ecosystem. You kind of have to pay a little bit up front. That's true. It's a little bit more expensive, but then you're kind of done. You know, you don't have this kind of subscription service that is like a straw in your bank account sucking money each month. You're paid for it, it's done. The PC, it's not going away. I love building PCs, and a small form factor build is something that I really want to do in the future on this channel. But again, everything costs money, and we have to prioritize, of course. And I do prioritize some of these talking videos, some testing of gear and music production, stock music and things like that, of course. And according to the testing I have done on this channel, I have done a few videos on the M1 MacBook Pro. I believe that one is good enough for the type of work I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to document that on videos here and see if this is really something I should do. I mean, switching from Windows to PC. I have a lot of data on my Windows PC, so it's not just something, it's not done like this. So it's going to take time. I'm going to have my PC living besides my Mac for the foreseeable future, and I have to find a way to kind of integrate them together and switch between them in a good way. And maybe I will try to make some videos about that as well. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.